Everybody, welcome to another episode of Dunk Dynasty. This is Imran Nalawala, and we're going to have another week for you, a little bit of a different time. It's a little late, but hopefully everybody's home and available to jump on. So give us about 20 to 30 seconds, and then my co-host, Anthony Morrow, former NBA player, will be joining us. Hey.
That's my guy.
Years. I'm doing good. How are you?
How you doing, brother?
How's,
Doing well, man.
how's your week been so far?
It's been cool, man. Can't complain, man.
Awesome. Well, I
Everybody,
there's little guys, man, doing more sports activities.
yeah, they going crazy. And I'm gonna play football, man. But doing everything. About to start soccer.
That was not on the topic, man. But why don't you expound on that? Why aren't they gonna play football?
Man, it's a lot going on with CTE and Morrow want them to play necessarily. Shooting with that. It's just a lot of just get hit. It's a lot of head injuries, a lot of things going on with that. So it's like I don't want to, put them in that position. Even though one of my twins, Malachi, he'll be a great football player. I don't, that CTE stuff is serious and it starts early. So I don't want to put him in that position.
It's interesting because a couple of my friends, they have the same exact methodology when it comes to this. One of my friends has got a couple sons, and one of his sons loves football, and he would be an excellent football player. But it's the same mindset, right? Like in terms of all those hard hits from a very young age, and football's a little different, man. Like you're supposed to want to hit somebody. You're supposed to want to knock somebody on their backside and knock them out, and tackle them into the ground. And
Yeah, just start early, bro. And then at the same time, it's like, it adds up after a while, bro. Start playing football at 8, 9 years old, and at the time, 17. It's different when it's other sports. So they're playing soccer.
well,
I'm happy.
soccer, a very, very fundamentally important sport when it comes to foot-eye coordination, and I think that's why we see a lot of European players who are successful in the NBA because of their footwork, man. And you see a lot of these guys grew up playing soccer.
Right.
Parker, Ginobili, Luka, even Dirk, and all these guys grew up playing soccer. The Gasol brothers. So I think that's why you see that fundamentals there, because they got those good feet.
Yeah, man. One of these days, we're going to get
All we gotta do.
Nash on. He was the first dude I ever really saw. I mean, like, as a MVP guy that was like talking about soccer and footwork. You could actually see when I actually got to play against him, and I was like, I see what they're talking about. It's hard to guard him, bro. That's Steve.
Underrated, man. I was literally just looking at something on Instagram before you jumped on, and I think LeBron just passed Steve Nash in the all-time assist record.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But that's an amazing feat, bro. I mean, guys can't play 20 years, bro. It's a different situation. So it's just amazing to see what he has done in that time. I didn't see that stat.
Yep.
He's about to pass Kareem. You got to talk about him being. I told us Michael Jordan, my guy, but Kobe was my Michael Jordan, and then LeBron is my kid.
He's definitely an argument, man. I used to give him a lot of slack, and I used to talk a lot of polite trash about LeBron. But he's absolutely in the category, man. There's no way you can discount. I mean, think about it just from this perspective: 20 years, and if you look at how his body looks and how fast he can still move, and what he's able to do in year 20, that shows you like how much attention to detail he pays, how much time he puts into his body. His nutrition must be on point. And just the fact that his heart and his mind are still into the game at this level is crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you look at it, bro, like, it's something that we never seen before in terms of a guy playing at that level. You look at his frustration last week and everything with it. It's just like, bro, like, he still has that level of commitment to his team, and to his body and to his game and to his kids. Like, he's different. We never seen. I mean, it is like kind of that Kobe thing, and I think that he taking that personal because people talked about him not being quote unquote the killer
Yep.
that Kobe,
Yep.
you know, Mike was. You know what I'm saying? Figuratively, like they talk about how he wasn't that, and now he's showing you like I can do this in terms of durability. So now what do you have to say? And that's what he is. I'm like, we ain't never seen nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Not at this level, at that position. You know. So I love what he's doing. And you know, I hope they get to the playoffs, but I really got them on some play in type situation. But
Yeah, I think that's best case scenario for them, man. Probably the playing. Yeah, you know, when he got fouled and they didn't call it, I was analyzing his reaction, right? And at first I was like, oh, come on, man, like, you know, there he is.
yeah, that's Rick. Yeah, I was on.
I'm like, there he goes again, you know, like he's whining a little bit. But I reeled myself and I said, you know what? Like, I got to put this in perspective. He's in year 20. He's trying to win it at the buzzer, and he's right there at the rim. He made a good move. He's right there at the basket, and the season hasn't gone as they wanted, and there's still a chance for the playoffs. So the emotions made sense, right? Especially in year 20. It was funny, man, how Patrick Dev handled that by bringing the camera onto the court.
Yeah, that was. Hey, shout out to Pat Bev, man. Pat Bev came out here this had to be about 8, 9 years ago. And we worked out for like 3 days. And it was random. And I worked them out. Shout out to my guys at the time at Accelerate. And, you know, I had to really get to know him. And he a real, like, we done got into it before playing, but other than that, he's a real genuine dude, bro. If you with him, you with him. Not, you not. You know what I'm saying? And I really got a real close relationship. You know, Will Bynum, Chicago guys. I was like, nah, man, he looks like that. He just like how he is. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't surprised when he brought that camera out. And I was like, it wasn't wrong. It's just how he did it. Of course, you're gonna get a tech, maybe thrown out, you know. But you know, Pat, one of them guys, man, he gonna ride for his guy, and he wasn't wrong. You know, when they fouled Broad, real foul.
No, you
Should come. You know, and this him is gonna be more. If it was anybody else or a second tier guy, nobody would care. But bro.
No, you always need a guy like Pat Bev on your team, man.
That was a real foul, bro. That wasn't like he's complaining, because Bron will do that sometimes.
No, it's like the
That's
shot.
real.
It removes the possibility of him making the shot. I mean, you need a Pat Bev on the team, man. Obviously, understand LeBron's frustration. The other point is, other thing that I'm thinking about is how many more opportunities is LeBron going to have to do something like this, right? Like that car is at the end of its life. I mean, you know, he could definitely play for a couple more years if he wanted to, which is up to him, which is probably what he's going to do if he's really trying to play with his son. But he knows he doesn't have a lot more of those opportunities left, so I get the emotions behind it. Before we get on to our main points, I wanted to touch on that Steve Nash, man. I think Steve Nash is real interesting because I found two schools of two camps. There's one camp who really, really, really appreciate Steve Nash as a basketball player and understand kind of what he brought to the court, what he brought to the game. And then there's another team, another camp that basically think he's overrated. I'm a fan of Steve Nash, man. The guy was 6'1", 6'2", maybe 6'3", not the strongest, not necessarily fast. He was quick, but he was so smart with it, man. And if you saw like what he did on the Suns, in my opinion, man, he really earned a lot of those guys some extra pay, some extra money, man. Like he was giving those guys some shots, man. When it comes to like Q Richardson, even what he did with Boris and what he did with obviously Amari was a beast, but when a guy like Steve Nash is setting you up, it makes everything easy.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you talking about like we talking about right now, bro. Who the top guys MVP leaders right now.
Yeah.
All of them are from overseas or foreign guys. You know? And I love that. Talking about Jokic
Yeah. Giannis.
and NBA, Giannis, Luka. You know what I'm saying? Like, this real skill. They've been playing pro since they was 13, 14 years old. You know, so when you're talking about that kind of skill level when you're 13, 14, my kids watch them. Of course, watch Kyrie, those guys, but at the same time, I'm like, look at these guys. They've been skilled since they were like 12. You know what I'm saying? Not taking nothing away from the LeBrons. I said, look at Kobe. Kobe really not from here. You know,
Yeah.
God bless. God bless. You know, like, God bless. I'm like, man, Kobe grew up there to learn how to play basketball. Look at it. Look at the skill work. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I just look at it like, look, the skill level of these guys at this point. And I'm like, look at all of the MVP guys are that's in the conversation. And I love Durant. I love all of them. You know, and I'm like, man, look, bro, they got size, skill, and know how to play. Why wouldn't you go towards trying to learn that? Genuinely trying to learn how to play like that. Got to. You know what I'm saying? That's what the league is right now. And I agree with it. You know, I'm never like ever gonna downplay that when it was kind of downplayed a little bit before. Now it's like, bro, it's not even a question. Look at the Dodgers who can guard. Who can guard Giannis? You know what I'm saying? Who can guard Joel Embiid? Who can guard these guys?
It's funny, man, because when you watch Luka's game, he looks guardable. He looks guardable. I think that's the easiest way I can say. Like, he doesn't people say he's stronger than he looks. He's not lightning quick, but there's just some shiftiness, some craftiness, some like you said, the fundamentals. He knows when to turn, when to pivot, when to reverse pivot, when to it all works so well together, man. And I think I was watching I think I told you about this last time. I was watching the Redeem Team documentary, right? And I think losing in 2004 and then sending all those guys in 2008, I definitely think that woke up Americans and America a little bit to understand that these guys are no joke. But I still think if you watch a lot of the American players, I still think there's like a heavy reliance on the athleticism, on the pure speed. And some of our guys are still kind of shying away from that pure fundamental basketball game until it's too late. And then I'll give you Derrick Rose as an example, right? Like D Rose, there's no reason after the major injuries he's had that he should still be in the league. But D Rose changed up his game. He adjusted. He started training differently. He added more fundamental to the game. And you still see he's a very good role player, right? But it seems like for a lot of the Americans, it takes some of those major injuries or those major setbacks for them to say, like, look, we're going to approach this a little bit differently.
Right. Well, I mean, in terms of like, different guys are different players. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like the league always wanted to go towards anything that was more skill and athleticism. You know? So I'm not going to ever downplay a guy like John Morant because that's what he is. And he's going to be there until the wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? I never downplay Allen Iverson, one of my favorite players. He's going to be there till the wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? You got a guy like Luka. You got to take care of their bodies and work on their games in different areas. You know, and I always said that, like, Giannis is Shaq in the situation. Like,
Yeah, I got you.
Generation. Can't stop that. You know, he coming downhill. You can't stop that from, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of guys, like, I'm like, you know, like Darius Garland. I love Darius. He's a baby Damian Lillard. You know what I'm saying? And I said that when he was at Vanderbilt. You know, so I'm like, man, these guys, you know, you gotta really hone in on your skills and on your body in skill set to make sure that, you know, you can sustain in the NBA, because it's always going to be somebody, you know what I'm saying, coming. They recruit, they getting, you know. So, but I just, you know, like D Rose, I was like, he was 1 of 1. Russ was 1 of 1. Like, things not that kind of athleticism. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? But these guys, you know, that will run out for somebody like Steph. Steph don't have to even get in the paint. He's shooting floaters if he ain't shooting 40-footers. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean? Like, he's doing that, you know, so he's going to be around longer. But it's like, you know, when you in that ground and the torque you have to get to the rim and falling, it's going to be like that sometimes, man. But I'm enjoying all of it. That's why I always say about Bron, I'm like, 20 years of this, bro. I got to play against him too. Man, I'm just enjoying the greats. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoy the greats.
So right now, LeBron, overtime, 19 seconds left, Lakers up by 6. LeBron has in 40th.
Hold on. My bad, bro. I wanna shout out my bro, Isaiah Thomas. See, just joined in.
Let's bring Zeke in.
I just want to shout my pro. I love that boy. You're an old school guy. Worked out every day hard. Like, that's my guy, man.
Let's see if Zeke, yeah.
And hey, Jack McClinton, love you, boy. He used to give us work at Georgia Tech. Used to get him work too, though. He went to Miami. Jack McClinton, my guy. Hey, shout out to the homies, man.
No.
All right. My bad. That's some of what
I think we should have invited Isaiah in. He's no, I think he's out.
Happy man.
I just checked. Yeah. No, I'm saying LeBron, 28 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds tonight.
Well, man, I mean, look, what you want him to do, bro? Like, he's going to get that points. He gonna get to the point. He gonna break that record. He gonna break Kareem's record. And I mean, this is legacy at this point for LeBron. And he wants to play with his son. And we all know what he's doing. And you know, in my opinion, I think this is what he should be doing right now. You know, he got 4 rings. Like, he's not really tripping on nothing. I want to play with my son. I want to do this. I think that's where he is in his career and with his legacy. Like, he gonna make $1 billion more in Hollywood. You know where he is with that. I'm gonna be, you know, I'm gonna give him his flowers when he get that number, when he break the record, bro. He should, you know.
It should.
Why not? So, just gotta see, man. Like, you know, I think they'll get to a play-in situation. I don't think they will get into necessarily a 5th seed or something like that, but I think they'll get to a place where they can get in a play-in situation. And we'll just see what they do from there. It's based off Anthony Davis' help.
We'll see, man. We'll see. You know, this is going to be a tough road for them. You know, it's going to be a tough road for them. So I think LeBron's, when you're his age and you have his pedigree, you're not really playing. I mean, you brought up the point. Like, he's already got the championships. He's got the gold medals. He's got the MVPs. He's got the all-NBA first teams. But I still think, like, something like NBA championships probably drives him, right? So if you're playing just for the playing, I could see that not being as motivating for him. But I want to ask you something, man. You brought up John Morant, and I know I wanted to ask you about all this smoke that the Grizzlies are trying to bring people, man. What's going on with the Grizzlies, man? I ask you from the perspective that they seem like a team that talks a lot, and if it's fair for me to say, as someone who played with Kendrick Perkins and played with Russell Westbrook, you know, you play with some talkers too, brother. So what is that perception like around the league?
My opinion, bro. First of all, I say I've been retired. I'll just say that first. But honestly, you got to understand, they ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying? You won some games against the Warriors. The Warriors beat y'all. That's it. You ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, until you really show the league, like really who you are. Like you made noise in the playoffs because you made the playoffs. It's not like you got to the like Western Conference Finals and went to the finals or something. As much as I love John Morant, love Bane, Dylan Brooks, uh, Young Jackson, Jaren Jackson, I love them. But I'm like, look, man, y'all really got to make some real noise because the season is. I'm like, look, bro, like if you're not taking it serious, like you win a game, you got to win a game 6 in the Western Conference Finals, and then show me. That's what's supposed to show me. Like it was cute because y'all young, love y'all. You know what I'm saying? But then like it gotta be. It has to be like really like okay, you won some meaningful games. You know what I'm saying? Like if I told you the Philadelphia 76ers and the Memphis Grizzlies was in the final, who would you take? See what I'm saying? Joel Embiid is the best player on the court. You think if he healthy, how y'all gonna get past that? How you gonna get past? Maybe, I don't know, Phoenix got some issues right now, but it's not gonna be easy to get past. The Clippers are already the Clippers. Like, what are you gonna do to get past these guys? You know what I'm saying? So, like, chill out, stay humble. Everybody keep working. I love their coach, and I love their squad, and I love, like, they roster. But at the same time, it's like, okay, y'all talking like y'all want to ring. It's not. That's not the case right now. Y'all bait. You better figure it out. Yeah, it's real.
But
I played against them Lakers like when they was winning chips. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it's a grown man squad, bro. You know what I'm saying?
playing against Test and Kobe and Gasol and Bynum and yes,
all of them. I'm like, bro, it's not like play time. Like they like, look, I'm gonna take a night off against you. But then tomorrow when you see us against the Celtics, it's a different situation. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no talking. And I love Josh. Love Josh so much.
Yep.
He's special. But I'm like, man, you gonna have to. This is my thing. He has to be the guy that controls that because he's the leader. You know what I'm saying? He is the leader, and he's going to be the leader. I told everybody, I said, look, bro, I saw him. I said, look, it was like, he rushed. I said, bro, it's going to be different, bro. I said, he's something that we haven't seen. I said, he's Allen Iverson, but with more like visibility in terms of like social media and stuff because it's a different era now. I say he Allen Iverson, bro. And it was like,
I think he's AI and Derrick Rose somewhere.
Yeah, it's like he probably more athletic like Derrick Rose, but socially like Allen Iverson. And I like that's what he is. And Russ. You know what I'm saying? But I say more AI. You know what I mean? Because in a small market, like Philly wasn't no big market with basketball at that time. But the Eagles was, you know, and the Phillies, they were like nuts. So like when he came in there, you know, he did what he did with Philly was what AI did. Like what he did with Memphis is that what AI did.
Sixers
with what AI did with Philly is what Ja did with Memphis. I'm like, I'm standing on that, bro. Like, real talk, bro. And I just feel like he's a special guy, but he gotta turn into that leader that's like, hey man, look, we ain't talking to him. All right, it's dark side. It's cool. We gotta go into something else. You know what I'm saying? We gotta really in now. Yeah, baby. We're gonna figure that out. Yeah, killer. I love him. I love his game. One of my favorite young players.
Let me ask
him and Jason Green.
So I agree, man. I think Ja's a phenomenal talent. I love the relentlessness. I love the cerebralness. I love the fact that he has like no fear for like a guy who's like 6'1", 6'2", maybe 6'3". But don't you think sometimes when you're an underdog, don't you got to play with that little bit of aggressive confidence? especially when you're going after someone who's got the pedigree of the Warriors? Or do you think, based on what you said, it doesn't seem like it's necessary, but I think sometimes it gives them a little bit of an edge. And if you look at that, like you brought up a good point, all they did is win a couple games against the Warriors. But another way of looking at it is these are the Warriors that won a championship, and Ja, I believe, missed a game or a game and a half or 2 games, and they were a little banged up, and they almost won that series. So what are your thoughts about that?
I don't think they was gonna win that series, bro. But I do honestly do. I really do feel like the roster that they have can really. Nobody out the West makes me feel like anybody is just dominant. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they can do it. There ain't no talk. You gotta go get that done. Like, I'm not like, it was like the Warriors, and then that for a while it was like the Suns, and then it was, and then like New Orleans, and like New Orleans can get out the West. If
I agree.
I stay healthy, like I'm like, man, nobody scares me out of the West. Talking about the East, I'm like, look, man, we got Milwaukee,
Philadelphia, they're taking us.
Philadelphia, like you don't know, like that's some real dogs out there in the East. But in the West, it's like that's kind of up for grabs when it wasn't like this. You know what I'm saying? So like now, it was like 20 years. Like, if you come out the West, you're gonna win the finals. You know, but now it ain't like that, bro. Like you don't know we don't know who gonna play for the Clippers. But if they play and they healthy, they're the best team in the West.
I agree,
bro. Like, I mean, you got two-way players that can get down, score, lock people up. We just don't know if they're going to play or be healthy or not. So now it's like, this is the time for a team like New Orleans to take over the West, get busy, get out the West. Denver, they good, but, Jamal Murray got to take that next step. They're going to need another scorer to come in, turn up in the play. You don't know. So
it's funny that you mentioned that, man. Like, I remember, like you said, if a team wins out of the West, it's a wrap. This team, 9 out of 10 times, is going to win the NBA championship. And in the East, sometimes the first round of the playoff didn't even highlight the best team, right? Like, you don't really get to see who's going to come out of the East until the second or third round. But now you're right, man. It's like flip. And it's like the West, I would say top to bottom, the West has more talent, like the teams are more balanced, but I don't think they're as strong as the top couple of teams in the East.
Bro, like Memphis can go to the finals. Like I'm not, like that's why I feel like Damian Lillard, like literally, he's like, I'm not leaving because I know if we get the right pieces and we get the right, like if everything lines up together, we're going to the finals. He don't feel like I'm just in the West. You know what I'm saying? It can happen.
Dame is a dog, man. But I'm just, as a casual basketball fan, I really like Dame because he's got that old school throwback mentality. So you were talking about
about his mouth.
You were talking about Dame, man. So I was gonna say, bro, like, don't you think, like, it's good to ask you because you've done this, man. But like, I love the moxie. I love the personality of Dame. I love the fact that he comes hard at people. He's not like Dame is not the one to be messed with when it comes to basketball, right? But at what point, now you're past your early 30s and you're getting far into your basketball career, like, is it good to go out like a Karl Malone and a John Stockton, guys who played hard their entire career and did not win it? Or is it better to say, you know what, I've given it my all in this city and in this team, and I'm going to basically take my talents elsewhere like LeBron did?
Honestly, bro, it's kind of like that's a hard comparison because, like, at that time, Karl Malone went to the Lakers when it was two. And John Stockton, these guys, like, Dame and Bradley Beal are making a decision. You know what I'm saying? And I don't necessarily not, like, I respect what they're doing, but, Brad should be with the Clippers or something, or with the Lakers, or with, like, maybe besides somebody. Like, he got to be, he could be, in that position.
Right.
If you want to force his way out. Brad, like, Dame, I could tell you, like, I had a specific situation where I had a specific conversation with Dame. He was like, how you feel about these guys moving around leaving? I said, man, look, I'm all for player mobility, bro. Don't get me wrong, because it's all about that in terms because you put in so much work, and these guys, they commit themselves to these organizations. Don't get me wrong, bro. I'm with all of that, but at the same time, you can get somewhere where you can make some real noise
Yeah.
and really get to the finals or something. Like you guys,
Yeah.
like Dame and Brad are different. These guys need to be on TV in June. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't want to not see that, but at the same time, I understand the loyalty. But I mean, you don't want to get 39, 40 and be like, yo, I want to go to the Warriors now or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to get to the point where it's like you got to make that decision now where y'all in y'all prime. But I respect it.
It's interesting, man. 'Cause again, like I said, I'm more old school now, but I do believe this new game. It's not a loyal game, man. It's not like there doesn't seem to be loyalty anymore, even from the side of ownership or management. So that's why, even for myself, my mindset has been changing recently, which is like what we were talking about LeBron earlier. I used to not like LeBron. I appreciate LeBron now. Like there's no reason to hate on greatness. But also, like, I used to be against player mobility. I used to say, no, let these guys stay with the teams that drafted them. But it's a business, man. Like it's a business, and the team will ship you out if it makes sense for the team. They will ship you out without any considerations, right?
Yeah, but them guys, like that don't happen with them. You know what I'm saying? There's a handful of guys that's never gonna happen. They can really like hone their destiny, like they can really control their destiny. So like, but with those guys, like, look, if I can keep Bradley Beal on my team because he wants to be loyal,
yeah,
I'll keep him forever. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm gonna try to build around. But if you give me 6 first-round, like 4 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks, and if you give me like 8 picks over the next 4 years, I'll consider moving. And they just haven't got that from me, and I don't understand why. And they probably have got something, but not to that extent. But you would move him maybe for that. You know what I'm saying? Because he's just that good of a player. He's gonna be a perennial all-star guy. He's gonna put numbers up. They're just not winning. Like I like to see Brad, like I said, like with the Clippers, like figure something out. Him, that's a big 3 right there. Him, Kawhi, and Paul. That's rough. Like how you going? And then Ty Lue, I love him as a coach. It's like,
yeah, and they need,
how you gonna beat that? They
and they need some nerds. They need a young athletic guard like that. Like I think that's what they're yeah.
And he's a 2-way guy.
I think any team. Who couldn't use a Bradley Beal? I think and the guy like Pop. I remember Pop was saying it. Yeah. I mean, you make it work, man. When
you might have to give up Marcus Smart, which
you have to,
because I love.
You have to, yeah.
But you got to give Marcus Smart, bro. Him, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, bro. He in the East still, but they probably wouldn't trade him to the East. But I'm just saying, bro, like you gotta, if you get someone to a contender, it's gonna be different.
Pop said he didn't realize how thick he was, and yeah.
Nah, yeah, let it do, man. He can go.
Same thing with like you were saying, Damian, man. Like Damian could help out. So like, look at what Mitchell's doing for the Cavs.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
yeah.
What are you gonna say?
He doing?
No. Please,
I'm just.
You.
Nah, I love what he doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's saying a lot about Rudy Gobert, bro. He get a lot of backlash in Minnesota now. Who's getting backlash with him and
Yeah.
And then Mitch getting into it. you know, and I'm like, man, what's the problem? I'm like, look, I done heard from like people like, yo, man, like s- just a lot of like backlash from a lot of people. And I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on, but at the same time, I think that um Mitch just feel like I'm free now. Cause they was worried about him and Darius Garland playing together. I said, it's gonna work, bro. I said one of them is a playmaker. The other one is more of a scorer, but
Yeah.
can still make plays. They can play together. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what it is, Rudy Gobert, but that trade was crazy. Like it really messed up the market. You feel me? So I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
you know, you don't hear as much about Carter
Mm,
Towns now, and kind of in and out. You know what I mean? But um, it was more about that. You know, it's Ant-Man already. You know, it was like Ant-Man already took over. Like he's the guy. I told him like he's the guy. He's the star,
always got that talent.
superstar. Kids, man, he kind of young. You know what I'm saying? Still got some little maturity issues, but he's the guy. You know what I mean? But the time will tell, man. I think if they get the chemistry right, but that's going towards more coaching.
Yeah. I think with Gobert, it's interesting, right? Because a lot of money. I think they were trying to go for that 2 7-footer. Like, let's have 2 7-footers playing next to each other. But it's all about that fit, man, that chemistry, and then how that individual is going to fit with that team. And like, it doesn't work. It doesn't seem like it works. It doesn't seem like it works.
Just need like the young, They still haven't developed some young guys, but I don't think that Gobert move was the
I agree.
answer. I think that's what they thought that was. And it's not like a shot against him, but I just don't think that
And
that's what
and
they need.
and the league has changed a little bit, man. Right? Like he's got that defensive prowess. I think he's a former defensive player of the year, but offensively, like how much does he give you, right? And I think his pick and roll defense has actually it's decreased a little bit. He doesn't have that same athleticism he used to, picking up the guards off the pick and roll. So I think it's harmed them a little bit, man. And you can see, like, if you're not a versatile, like, look at Cat. Cat can score. Cat can score from the perimeter. Cat can take you off the dribble. Look at Embiid. Embiid can score. Embiid can take you off the dribble. And Embiid can fake, do a pump fake, step back from the 3-point line. So, like, even the like Joker's the same. So the big man has changed, right? So I think our boy Rudy, he's kind of that throwback, still purely defensive minded big who can play a certain style of basketball. So I just don't think that's a good fit.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the way they play, the only person that can really make him better, in my opinion,
Mm,
D'Angelo Russell, because
yeah,
he's a roll guy. So you got to screen rim roll. Like Ant-Man is a scorer, an attacker. You know what I'm saying? He can play in the pick and roll, but he's more scoring attack. Cat need the ball. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, who else is gonna make him better in offensive play? You know, so I'm like, when it gets to that, it's like, all right, then you gotta be this defend the rim guy, and then that's what it is. You know, but they're gonna have to figure out some chemistry. That's the only thing wrong. They got the talent. They just don't have the chemistry. If they keep their chemistry right somehow, they could. I mean, they one of the best teams in the West. I don't know how you're not going to. You know,
on paper. Yeah, on paper. On paper, I think that's why everybody was excited about that trade. But again, another team that showed some promise there in the playoffs last year. And then you saw, I think they also lost to Golden State, if I'm correct. Were they lost to Memphis or Golden State in the playoffs last year?
I think they lost to.
Yeah, and they had some good moments, but they didn't execute properly down the stretch. But we'll see if that maturity comes this season. But nonetheless, man.
And I like their coach too. Well, I like Memphis coach, sure, but like we got to see what happens, man. They got to figure that out. They got too much talent to beat. like, you know, where they at, you know what I mean? But that's part of the process.
That's part.
You know, right.
That's part of the fun, man. Figuring it out. No, man, we always appreciate it, man. I know it's just getting close to I think for you it's probably close to 11, right? Your EST. Yeah. No, man, much love as always, brother. Appreciate the analysis on LeBron and then we talked about quite a few different things today, but always great catching up, man. And looking forward to next week.
Always. Y'all tap in with us every week.
No, much love, man. NBA TV. Get this guy back on.
Yeah, we praying on that. We got to get that we got to get that done.
Awesome.
I'm getting it done.
No. I hope you get it, man.
Thank you, bro.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Until next time.
I appreciate it, bro.